Greetings, our dear Earthlings. We have come to you today to tell you about the nature of our work here on Earth. It is a very crucial period of time on Earth now, when the reconstruction of the entire system of human values and the consciousness of the people is happening, but at the same time the events of the material plane continue to develop. According to the old scenario, these events do not fulfill the expectations of the people, and do not catch up with the growth in the human consciousness, and it has resulted in a certain imbalance between the subtle matrix of humanity and its physical form. It is similar to the locomotive which tries to push forward a long train, but its rail cars stay in one place, like they are attached to the rails. And that's why it happening. The consciousness of the people, which from 2012 have started to transform very fast, already have reached the point of no return and cannot return to its previous level, even if it cannot be seen on a dense plane. This is because the consciousness of the people, like their bodies, exists simultaneously on different planes. Let's try to imagine the clouds, which appear in the skies in several layers. The densest and heaviest clouds are closer to Earth, the fluffier ones are higher, and the higher ones are completely rarefied, almost transparent. Let them symbolize our consciousness, which exists simultaneously in the different levels of vibrations. Its densest levels accepts things happening on Earth as being adequate, normal and logical. The level of consciousness that is a grade higher rejects all the human acts which are contrary to the divine laws of the universe. And the highest level of vibrations is already unable to perceive the actions transpiring on Earth, which carry the low vibrations, because it is staying in the vibrations of the fifth dimension, where duality do not exist. And our task consists of the balancing of all the levels of your consciousness, which means maintaining your psychological state, which helps you to shift into a new reality smoothly and harmoniously. And now it has become especially important, because it depends on every person with which speed and with what kind of losses your Earth would enter into the space of the fifth dimension, throwing off the burdens of the third-dimensional world. What do we do to achieve that? To make it very short, we level the energies of the different layers of vibrations of your consciousness to the average vibrations. It would allow you to perceive everything that's happening on Earth naturally, without the excessive stresses, and on the level, which is the most comfortable for you, which would reveal that picture of the events that your consciousness is able to accept at the current moment. For example, someone would see only a danger for one's life in the war conflict, another one a political reason, and a third one a deep esoteric reason for this conflict. In other words, we bring your consciousness to a certain average level of perception, but all the nuances you perceive yourself, like someone who tunes in the short waves, someone in medium, and someone in the long ones. We hope that we succeeded in explaining an essence of our work, which is so important for you now. The Council of the Elders of the planet Arcturus spoke with you today. Dear Arcturians, do you have a message for me today? Yes, we the Arcturians have a message for everyone on every day. In fact, we invite all who read this message to remember that you too have messages from us, and or other members of your galactic family. Please remember that you all have a galactic family. However, it can be difficult to remember that fact while you are facing the many challenges of your third-dimensional Earth reality. When we say you, we mean all of you brave ones who have activated your multidimensional consciousness so that you can activate the circles of light that awaken your personal expressions of your multidimensional self. Multidimensional means that you all have higher dimensional frequencies of your third-dimensional self. The challenge is to be able to perceive your higher dimensional self via your third-dimensional consciousness. Fortunately, the higher dimensional frequencies of your third-dimensional self constantly overlight you via a huge circle of light, which constantly protects and guides you. These circles of light are components of your innate fifth-dimensional self. It is because of your innate circles of light that constantly surround and protect you. Many challenges of life on third-dimensional Gaia can be greatly reduced, faced and even healed by remembering that you are a multidimensional being, who has volunteered to take an Earth vessel during this now to assist Gaia with her planetary ascension. As you activate these circles of light within your consciousness, you will begin to remember more and more about your true, multidimensional self who resides in the higher dimensional starships and fifth-dimensional realities. Your higher dimensional self is in constant contact with your third-dimensional self. Unfortunately, while wearing your third-dimensional Earth vessel, your consciousness, as well as your third-dimensional perceptions and experiences, are limited to the frequency of the third and fourth dimensional expressions of Gaia. Gaia is multidimensional and resonates to many different frequencies. Each of these frequencies are similar to a rung on a ladder. You might keep this ladder in the garage, or in a closet, and only bring it when you feel that you really need it. On the other hand, you could also put this ladder, which is often known in your world as Jacob's ladder, somewhere where you can feel the energy field of that ladder circling above, around and beneath you. This circling energy field creates unseen energy fields that can be experienced via your high heart, third eye, and crown. If you can relax into a higher state of consciousness, you may be able to feel the circling light that is activating and protecting your crown chakra, brow chakra, throat chakra, and high heart. Your crown chakra encircles the crown of your head to remind you that you are connected to your higher self and that you have the innate ability to perceive the higher frequencies messages that will enter your crown and to ever expand your consciousness. Your third eye encircles your forehead to remind you that your third eye has the ability to perceive with what humanity has often called your imagination. Your high heart encircles your heart to remind you that love, especially unconditional love, is the key to the fulfillment of your reason for this incarnation. The knowledge of your crown chakra, third eye, and high heart will greatly assist you to more easily remember that you have constant higher assistance to assist you to fulfill our reason for incarnation within this incarnation. However, even with all this assistance, sometimes you may become so distracted by that which seems too difficult, that you forget about the higher dimensional assistance that is always with you. Then, you may walk right past the very higher assistance that you wish to experience, or you may decide that it is too much work to call for the higher assistance that you believe is just above your reach. But this is not a regular ladder. This is Jacob's ladder. In the Bible, Jacob's ladder established contact between humans and God, and there are 7 rungs on the ladder of virtue. We talk about a Jacob's ladder that is outside of you, to remind you that you also have a ladder inside of you. The ladder that is inside of you is your multidimensional consciousness, which has 7 different frequencies chakra that can greatly assist you to reach higher in the midst of your daily life. We speak of your daily life because that is when and where you are more likely to forget that you have the inner assistance that you need in order for you to reach higher. This inner assistance comes from your own higher dimensional self. Your higher dimensional self is a member of your multidimensional galactic family. Your higher self and higher dimensional family are in constant communication with your earthbound self. Unfortunately, your third dimensional self can easily distract the ones who are currently wearing an earth vessel. In fact, that third dimensional version of you may even tell you that it is too high for me to reach right now. Therefore, I will just forget about that and do something else. Then you may forget about the deep inner part of you that whispers into your heart, I really wanted to climb that ladder, but it seemed too difficult for me. This is when you need to ask yourself, why did I give up? Why didn't I find some assistance to do what seems too hard to by myself? If you can remember to call upon us, the members of your galactic family, we will remind you that you always have a Jacob's ladder to the higher worlds. In fact, this ladder is your own consciousness which is always active within you. However, if you do not take the first step to climb the ladder, you will not be able to use it to receive and understand to that which is too high for you without the assistance from your galactic family and your own multidimensional self. The reality is that you have an inner ladder that can take your consciousness up into the higher frequencies of reality, and then return you to your third dimensional self once you have received what was necessary within that now. Yes, this inner ladder is not a physical ladder. It is a consciousness ladder. Everyone has a consciousness ladder inside their physical form. However, just like you would need to open the door to get your physical ladder out of the closet, you will need to open your consciousness in order to get to your consciousness ladder. However, in order to know when to open the door to find your consciousness ladder, you will need to first open your consciousness to your own inner self. Your own inner self is where you put all the memories of all the incarnations which you saw to climb Jacob's ladder. Some people have a huge inner memory that is full of old memories, heartaches, and forgotten memories. Unfortunately, there are often many good and loving and forgotten memories that are stuffed into a closet of your unconscious self, just under the memories that are too uncomfortable to remember. However, it is the now to remember that, indeed, it is your closet and you have the ability, and the right, to go into the old, and often forgotten, closet to clear out that which you no longer need to hold in your consciousness. If you open that closet and look around a bit, you will likely find some old heartaches, disappointments, challenges, and doubts that you have actually cleared from your daily life, but they still linger in your unconscious consciousness. Just like you need to clear out your cupboards on a regular basis so that you will have room to put new things in there, you will need to clear out your consciousness so that you have room in your conscious mind to release that which has been completed, and or that which you no longer need to store in your consciousness. But how do you know that you are ready to release some old stuff, which now feels like junk mail? There is likely a part of you that wants to hold on to that which is over. However, that which is over is only over when you have cleared out your consciousness. Therefore, just as you may need to take everything out of that cluttered closet in order to know for sure that which you are ready to release and that which you believe you still need, you will need to clear out your consciousness. What does it mean to clear out my consciousness? We hear you ask. What we mean is that your consciousness has the ability to hold on to the people, places and or situations that are no longer an important component of your now. Your now means your present life, your present feelings, your present desires, and your present emotions and feelings. However, if you want to clear out that closet that is full of your past, you will need to look at your present to determine what you still need in that closet, and therefore, will keep and that which you are complete within that closet and you can easily release it. Some things in your closet may not be bad, but they are from a part of you that is no longer active in your present life. Perhaps, you had a disappointment or loss in your life that you have stored in this closet. In order to take some things from the closet, you will need to assure yourself that you will no longer wish to use those old thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Once you feel confident that you no longer wish to use that behavior, memory, or thought form in your daily life, you will know that you are ready to release that component of your thoughts, feelings, and or emotions within the now. However, you will likely find that certain things which are actually your own thoughts, emotions, behaviors come back into that closet after you have released them. The fact of this reality is that you have not, yet, released your need for that action, thought, behavior, memory. This is where you will have your greatest challenge, which is telling your own self the truth. In order to fully release that which you believe you no longer need, you will need to discover why you needed that action, thought, behavior, memory. This is when you will need to take everything out of the closet and put it on the sunny front porch. As you lay these components of your own self in the light, the sunny front porch, there will no hiding, no excuses, and no reasons. In other words, as you put these inner secrets from yourself out where the light of the sun can shine on them, then, everything will appear to be different. The closet, where you hid these excuses and reasons, was dark, crowded, old and stuffy, but you did not realize that fact until you put them under the light of the sun. The sun is warm and cozy, whereas the closet was cold, stuffy and cramped. Therefore, you separated all these old ways to hide, excuses to use, and reasons to not do, from the you who is now ready to stand in the light of the one and listen, not to your confusions, worries, and excuses, but to use the light to reveal your true self. Your true self was not a concept when you were stuffing things into the overloaded closet of your unconscious mind. However, your true self was, and is, ready to feel the light which reminds you that hiding in the closet, which you now are realizing was far too small for you, is not the reality that you choose to live. At first, you accept that you have always wished to bask in the sun. Therefore, you made a promise to yourself that you would set a certain time that you would surround yourself and be within the state of consciousness that allowed you to remember your true self. Bit by bit, you discovered that the outer light was also your own inner light. However, when you were stuffing things into a small closet, the light could enter your own inner self. Therefore, the first thing that your inner light did was to merge your own, perhaps newly discovered, inner light, with a feeling that was growing within yourself. At first, the feeling of the inner light was uncomfortable. But, when you used your newfound courage to allow the feeling of the inner light to be real, everything in your life began to change. For one thing, fear was no longer frightening. Fear was the opposite of love. Therefore, you could more easily close the old, darkened door, knowing that soon you would have the courage to go through that door to release all that is no longer necessary in your life. Also, as you release your fear, you will find that love was easy to find and easy to lovingly return. On the other hand, fear tried to dodge or even hide from love that was traveling in circles which were becoming larger and larger. Soon, you discovered that this circular love returned to the center in ever-expanding circles of light. Slowly, or quickly, the circles of love became larger and larger, encompassing more and more of your life, and of the reality that you now knew that you had created. Once you discovered that you were the creator of your own life, the circular light moved into your own consciousness and reached out to others that were in need. Then, slowly, or was it all at once, the circular light and circular love became one, and, most important, that circular love and light became one with you. It was then that you realized that you have no need to fear anything. Love and light have replaced fear with a knowing. What is this knowing? We hear you ask. The answer to that question is easily found by looking deep within yourself. When you find the circles of love and light within yourself, can you share them with others? Yes, I can. You hear yourself say out loud, yes, you can. Your higher self echoes.